We're spending the last month on the road as part of the Up in Arms tour, and I have the privilege tonight of introducing a band called Switchfoot. And a bit about the work that we do. We are a non-profit organization, and everything started 2 years ago, but we really didn't mean to start a non-profit. We just tried to tell a story, and we tried to help a friend of ours and really invite some people into her story. There's smoke blowing across the stage. We tried to help a friend of ours, and basically her name is Renee. When I met her 2 years ago, she was 19 and she had known a pretty difficult life. She was struggling with drug addiction, depression, self-injury. She had attempted suicide. And basically, she was denied entry into a treatment center and spent the next 5 days with some friends and myself. And really, these were her first days sober and her first days kind of coming back to life in quite a long time. And halfway through the 5 days, I asked her this really awkward question. I basically asked her what she thought about the possibility of telling her story, and really assumed that the answer would be no, that she would say, no way, get lost. She surprised me and said some things that I'll never forget. She said she loved the possibility that maybe there could be a purpose for her pain, that maybe other people would relate to the things that she had been through, and maybe other people would even find hope in her story. And that if any of those things could happen, it would mean a great deal to her, and it would actually help her make some sense of her life. And basically we spent 5 days with her and sat down and wrote this story. And the story was painful and it was dark at times and it was difficult because that's what her life had been. But in the middle of that, it was also hopeful. Can't escape the smoke. So it was kind of this picture of contrast, and that's what her life had been. And kept coming back to this title that was a bit funny. It was a bit too long to be a title. It looked more like a Panic at the Disco song or something. And but really, essentially, this funny phrase, to write Love in Arms, it was a goal. It was this idea of believing something better for her life. Believing something for her identity, believing something in the face of the lies that she had bought into, that her 19 years on this planet didn't amount to much. And so we sat down and I wrote this story, and then we realized that her treatment was going to cost money, and we wanted, the money had to come from somewhere. And so we had the idea to print these t-shirts and to try to pay for her treatment. And we wanted people to have access to the shirts and the story, and so we made this MySpace page. And basically I was at a sold-out Switchfoot show in South Florida. It was March 30th, 2006, and the first box of shirts shows up, and I'm standing next to John backstage, and we open up this box, and we're kind of excited and smiling, and we pull out the first shirt, and there's 3,000 people there that night, and John says, hey, would it be okay if I wear this on stage? And I just play it really cool, and I was like, yeah, John, that would be fine. And so John gets up, and halfway through their set, he says, hey, I would love it if you guys would check out To Write Love in Arms. It's this project that my friend is working on, and you can